Hi, welcome to Relax and Paint. And tonight, what I'm doing is I'm sharing with you how we're going to use Folk Art Multi-Surface Paint. Right here, this is the multi-surface label, okay? And this is the Folk Art. They're both Folk Art, but this is the Folk Art matte. So I do have a couple of greens, like a sap green matte and an asphaltum, which is a really pretty brown that I love to use. And we also are using floating medium. Okay, that's the clear medium that's in that I dip into instead of water. We don't want to use water. And then I'm going to be using some white. So we're going to put white right down here in the middle. We're going to be using 11 by 14 canvas, and we're going to do a complementary canvas to this one that I've already created. And so I want to show you how fun and easy this is. And I think that you will really enjoy the process. All right, so I'm taking my fingers and dampening my one stroke um, painter sponges, and I have two in the set, and we do all kinds of shaping and figurations with these sponges. All right, so the fabric's got, the canvas has a fabric texture, so you can see fabric in it. And what I like to do is got a white gesso or whatever on the canvas. And so I like to go around. This is coffee latte, and I'm just doing a light watercolory look around this canvas. So we have a set of um, fall painted leaves, birch trees that can hang next to each other, or you can sell them separately. But when you do shows or when you're doing some selling of your wares, it's nice to market it like and do get double the sales. We are coming right around here. And see, I'm not doing it this way because it will leave a hard line. But if you go like this, then this part of the sponge will blend it in, okay? So I'm just want to go around. I do want to get a little teeny bit of medium to get a watercolor look a little bit more sometimes. So see how I'm going for this effect? Okay, so that's kind of how I started, but then kind of in the middle, I want you to see that I can put water on the sponge and I can do a little bit of a watercolor spill across here. We can even add a teeny bit of the asphaltum in here. So let me show you what happens with that. Then I take the hair dryer. Now that's the hair dryer, but I want you to see my heat pen. When I'm using that heat pen, I can focus in one little area, especially when I'm doing glass painting and stuff. So it's also quieter and if you're teaching and working. All right, so now what I want to do is I'm going to put that sponge down into my basin, push it down in there so that it doesn't dry out and ruin my sponge, all right? So I want to do a complimentary. So what I'm thinking about doing is I'm dampening my 16 flat and I lay it on the paper towel to get the excess water out of it. And I'm going to do a tall, skinny one first. So these are the trunks for the trees, all right? Now what I did is I can go in the floating medium, make it move a little bit easier. But see, I just dip into it lightly. All right, so let me think what I'm going to do here. Um, I think I'm going to put another large tree that's going to go this way, right here in the middle, maybe. But I'm going to come in here with a smaller tree. This one's going to curve the other way. And then let's do this tree right in here and have it leaning. All right, so that's where that one's going to be. So now I'm going to do a slender one, and I'm going to move it over here a little bit. Now I want my little finger. If you're a newbie, we're working on the chisel. Is a brush tip here. I got a wild hair on there. All right, so I'm going to come right straight down here and get some more paint. Okay, so plenty of white and a little bit of gray. Now what I ended up doing is I did come back and put some of this paint back on top after I did the leaf. All right, and so then I want you to see that we're going to come in here, and I'm not looking at my other complimentary one. I am just coming over here doing my own thing in here. I can come down and I'm carefully using the chisel. All right. And there we go. So I did this one, and then this one's going to be faint. See, this one's going to be a lot less um, intense than this one. Can you see the difference? All right, so now I'm not going to be on the chisel like I was, straight on the chisel. I'm going to turn it slightly, not flat. This one's going to be flat, but I'm turning this at an angle. Okay, so I can get it wide. I want to get some gray on both sides a little bit. This is medium gray and white. So see, I did this one on purpose at an angle. Okay. And so I could come right in here and just get a little bit of coffee latte. Now, what you would still do, if this was hanging, the shading that I would want would be on the left side also. All right, now I'm going to let that dry a minute, and I'm going to do this big guy here. But I will just put his trunk in, but not his branches until I get these other trees done. So I'm going to pick up good amount of white, a little bit of gray, and this is going to be flat. So this is a 16 flat, and I'm going to come right along here. And just put that gray mostly on the left side there now. And I'm going to come a little bit over here. And hopefully this will look like it's in front. Okay. And that's just to get placement. Yeah, are you with me? Okay. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take these smaller brushes. So I've got a 10. I did use some 12s. Where's my 12? All right. And what I'm going to do, first of all, is I'm going to come over here to this little guy. And I did a lot of work with him first. And you can just kind of randomly pick some colors. So this is, let's get a little bit of yellow ochre. This is Pueblo. So it's kind of orange. It's got a nice look to it. And I'm going to be on the corner of that brush. Can you see that? So I got a little bit of yellow ochre, a little bit of those, and I can pull a little stem into some of them. All right. And so I want to space these out a little bit. All right. And sometimes I put no stems. Okay. All right. We're going to have some coming down. Now I'm going to come over here and get some asphaltum with a medium. All right. So we can have some dark and some light as we're working in here. And also, then I came in here with some burnt umber. It's not burnt umber, it's asphaltum. Sorry. It's a really nice rusty brown. Okay. I'm going to have a few of these coming in here. Let's do a little coffee latte. Oops, I got some white too. All right, so I like to go around and put all of the Pueblo first. We're going to alternate where we put the colors. All right. All right, so see how I'm just putting some orange here and there. But it's Pueblo, it's not really orange, it's nice pumpkin color. And a little bit up here. All right, so then let's come in here with floating medium and just make a puddle of the asphaltum. Let's see, I want to put some dark here and there. Okay, got a couple of them that come down from here. This is all with a 12 flat so far, okay, guys? Okay, let's see. Now, let's do some, we've got a little bit of orange, browns in here. Oops, that's a loud brown. Okay, a little bit of coffee latte. See, you're just really loose about this. And we can put a little bit of the darker brown in here, which is asphaltum. All right. I'm going to put this up on here just a little bit so you can see without a glare what's happening. All right. Now, the last color, I am going to pick up floating medium and get some browns with the sap green color. Okay. And I'll put a little bit here, a little bit there. Uh, just little bits of green. All right, so yellow ochre is left. So yellow ochre is floating medium with this yellow color in here. And we are going to come all in here. And I want it to kind of look watercolor, so I mix it in here and there. And every once in a while you could put some stems, but I didn't overly do stems. All right, then these are coming out here. Okay. All right, and then a little bit down here. All right, so you see it's just some random leaves in there, so they're not going to be exactly alike. But now what I want to do is I want to pick up the white again, and I'm going to come right down here, and I am going to slightly pick up the white with a teeny bit of licorice. All right, so that's coming right up here. All right, so now when we put that, we just want that to be a really good tree effect there. And I did bring all along in here a few more branches. Okay. Right. And then I'm going to take, and then we have to next do the little branches and stuff that are in here. And so we're going to have to come in here with on this next one here, I will take and put a few little teeny stems along here. And a little bit up here. All right, I did bring a little bit of that licorice, and this is a 12 flat still I'm doing this, all right? So you can just add a little bit here and there, but I've got a little trick that y'all are gonna love that makes you feel like what an artist. And that's something I created just playing around with my brushes. So I'm excited to share that with you in just a moment. But right now I'm just putting a few of these with white and licorice of these tree branches that have to come here. Look, it comes down and out. All right, and this is going to be that birch tree, and it's got to have those markings on it for it to look really good. Okay. All right, so we're not ready to do those yet. Now, um, let's see, do we? All right, I did put kind of like a gray one that comes out across this limb. All right, a little bit. Okay, so here's my trick. I came up with this when we had to do a zillion birch trees and some of these paintings with newbies that I'm like, how am I going to ever do this? Because sitting there doing all this little detail, quick and easy, it doesn't happen easily. All right. I also, before I start there though, let me take some more of this burnt. This is asphaltum. I keep wanting to say burn number. And I want you to see that I can come up with this little liner with, this does have water in it because it is making inky paint, acrylic paint. So when you make it inky, you don't use floating medium. You're going to use water. All right. So this brush is mostly the one I use water with, and sometimes our sponge, right? Let's see how I have them over here too. And so what I can do is just have some of these kind of creeping along in here. And I can sign my piece with this brush. You see, I already signed on over there, but the deal is, just in case they sell separately or you give them separately, or even if they're together, you might want to sign both of them. All right. Now let me show you my trick. All right. Um, and when I was coming up here like this, I hit the edge of something and it's splattered. So I have to come in here and splatter the other one so that it goes well with it. All right, so when I come here and make inky licorice, so you're rolling it in the edge of the paint, not in the middle of the paint, and then I'm gonna pull my brush out of that. All right, so we can try right along here on this brush. Now, let me show you. You're laying it down sideways, and you're gonna lay it and you're gonna drag it. And however it touches and falls, you're going to let it just do that. Can you see that? And it looks so much like real birch trees when you get it from a distance of it. All right. And I'm going to see I'm shading mostly on the one side. All right. Right along here. Okay, then I can come down on the other side. So look how that's already. See, it looks different, but it's given us that same look. Now I'm going to come in here and just do a little bit on this side, which means I don't lay the brush down as much. I just a little bit. And I can come along here and just let it touch. Okay, now I'm not saying you wouldn't come in here maybe and just do a little bit of extra. I don't think this one really needs it. You can see I had lots of space here, so I did come and do that. But now when I'm going to be, I really just came along here. Oops, my finger smeared that. I just came in here and did a few little spots of licorice, but I didn't really do anything else to this. All right, but let's go over here now. Now, because this one, it should be in a distance, I put a little bit of medium gray in it to mute it a little bit. Okay, so watch this. I'm going to come right along here, a little bit of licorice and gray. Just come along here. All right, a little bit of gray and licorice. So it's just a little bit on that side, can you see? And then I can pick up just a little bit more and just come down here, skip, and come down a little bit there. And just with a little bit of that gray, you can change that look just a little bit. So what do you think? There's your two. And I think I'm going to put a little bit more gray in here so that they look like they go together a little bit better. All right. So I'm going to lift it higher so you see my mess. All right. So there we go. And it looks like two different, but yet it goes well together. And I have leftover paint challenge paint, huh? All right. So this one looks like the licorice needs to be a little stronger, just in a couple spots. So that's the beauty of this. I can come and lay this down and pick up a little bit more. There we go. And the same thing could happen here if I feel like it needed to be more in one area. There we go. So just fun little project, but you could do leaves and metallic. You can do like the metallic gold and the fire coral, treasure gold. This is folk art treasure gold. All this is on my onestroke.com website to all the brushes and sponges and everything and the paints. All right. So thank you for being on. Please subscribe and ring the bell so you know when I'm going to be doing a live. And subscribing is free. You get all these lessons, but you can also join. If you hit join and just try it for a month, it's like $10 for the month. And I take you into more classes that'll teach you how to become a one-stroke artist. You're one stroke away from becoming an artist if you're not already. Okay, so just remember to check out Fridays. We've got practice strokes where I teach you more like show me again how to do that leaf because I liked what she did, but I want to look at that leaf more, and that's where you would go. All right, thank you.